Hello, welcome to the morning edition of MBC News, and you are with me, Evelis Chingambe. Coming up this morning, the governments of Malawi and Iceland sign a 23 billion kwacha financial agreement aimed at supporting the improvement of basic services in 3 districts. Construction of the Tuchila Bridge at Nkando in Mlanje to be completed before December, and the second phase of the nationwide polio immunization campaign ends today. Joining us now, the news in detail. The government of Malawi has signed a $12.9 million financial agreement with the government of Iceland, which will support the improvement of basic services in 3 district councils of Salima, Balaga and Machinga. The financial partnership, which is equivalent to 23 billion kwacha, signed in Lilongwe by the Minister of Finance, Mwanamveka, and the Minister of Local Government, Phiri, on behalf of the government of Malawi. Austin Fugula reports.
The Minister of Finance, Mwanamveka, commended the government of Iceland for scaling up the basic services program for the 2 to 5 districts, saying this will improve access to social services such as health, education and clean water.
It's a signal that there is a good relationship between the government of Iceland and Malawi, and also it shows that they have confidence in the leadership of Professor Peter Mutharika. Obviously, we work closely with the government of Iceland. I know they have the capacity. They have already demonstrated that capacity to do more. I'm sure we'll be engaging them so that they can give us more resources. Minister
of Local Government, Phiri, assured the Icelandic government that his ministry will ensure effective implementation of the $12.9 million grant, equivalent to 23 billion kwacha, so that people in rural areas benefit fully.
In any sort of grant, accountability, transparency, efficiency and effectiveness has got to be deployed. We have done that, and I must be quick to mention that the local government of yesterday is not the local government of today. We had challenges, we learn from the challenges that we had yesterday, and we build from there to make sure that we don't let Malawians down.
The Iceland head of mission in Malawi, David Bayanason, said the program is performance-based, hence councils need to implement their work in a transparent and accountable manner.
We expect to see huge improvements in basic services delivery in the districts. We expect to see good performance in the implementation of the program, that we work together very hand in hand to deliver those services and to solve any challenges that may come. But in the end, it's about delivering, it's on expectations of service delivery on the ground, which will improve education, health, access to water and environmental aspects.
The scaling up of the basic services program between the governments of Malawi and Iceland follows the successful implementation of the initiative in Mangochi and Nkota districts. Austin Fugula, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Minister of Gender, Children, Disability and Social Welfare, Navicha, has called on Malawians to embrace self-reliance in order to reduce donor dependence in community development initiatives. Navicha said this in Lilongwe during the official launch of the Community Development Month CDM initiative. Trinity Kapantengo reports.
Navicha says the decline in self-help spirit experienced in the country of late has reduced community participation, ownership and sustainability of development activities. She added that without receiving money or food items, people are not maintaining their own roads, bridges, schools, or managing catchment areas, which she said is worrisome. As such, the Community Development Month initiative stands to revive the spirit of self-help.
This is a powerful initiative where it empowers people to participate in various developmental projects in their areas. As you are aware that our roads are in dilapidated states and even bridges. I'm talking of roads to graveyards, roads to their homes, roads to villages. Time has come for us to take care of ourselves.
Besides the launch of a Community Development Month initiative, the minister handed over a vehicle to the Department of Community Development and motorcycles to district councils to support the implementation by improving the mobility of officers in the district. Chief Community Development Officer for Kasongo District Council, Topse Kajere, commended the initiative, saying it will enhance coverage of their work.
For communities to be self-reliant, they need to be empowered and they feel that on their own they can do things on their own, developing their own communities. Self-help is key for sustainable development.
The beneficiary district councils include Branta, Kasongo, Nchinji, Kalonga, Machinga, Mangochi, Palombe and Chitipa. Trinity Kapantengo, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Construction of the Tujila Bridge at Nkando in Mlanje is expected to be completed before December this year. The Minister of Transport, Jappie Mhango, made those remarks during an inspection of the construction works on the bridge currently underway. Mercy Zamawa with the details.
Mhango acknowledged that the construction of the bridge faced delays due to heavy rains and the shortage of forex. He said Malawi has been going through economic challenges, which the government is still working to resolve. He, however, added that the contractor currently working on the project has now been given about 5 billion kwacha to allow the work to continue.
People of Mulanje and surrounding districts have got every reason to complain. They are justified because the project has indeed delayed, but there have been factors that have contributed to the delay. We are coming from a very, very different background where the economy has been failing. The economy has not been performing. And so it has also been very difficult for government to meet its obligations, that is to pay our contractors on time. But now that we seem to be overcoming these problems, we've started paying contractors so much so that the contractor who is working on this Tujila bridge has now been paid. He has already sourced some of the materials, obviously still having some problems with to access forex. As the ministry will take it up with the Reserve Bank to make sure that the contractor is prioritized as forex is being allocated, to make sure that he completes this bridge by December, because that is now the cut-off point.
Meanwhile, the Director of Maintenance at the Roads Authority, Engineer Flora Hauya, said the project cost has been revised upwards to 8.9 billion kwacha from 7.7 billion kwacha due to the depreciation of the Malawi kwacha.
The progress is there. As you've seen, almost the 3 spans are ready for doing the deck. What we are remaining with is the pier and the last abutment, which we are supposed to finish.
Speaking on the matter, Member of Parliament for Mulanje Pasani, Mariam Ajidu, said the damage of the bridge disrupted the movement of people and agricultural produce, as the bridge is located near a marketplace where people buy and sell goods.
It has been very challenging, as you can see the damages that are here. And our people, they're using Nkando Road to sell their farm produce. So they usually use this road, and they can't cross because of the damages that were caused here because of Cyclone Freddy. So this development, it will help my people a lot.
Mike Construction Limited is the company carrying out the construction works of the bridge. Mercy Zamawa, MBC News, Mulanje.
Contractors in the construction industry have been challenged to deliver sustainable infrastructure that adds value to national development. The remarks have been made in Mangochi at the opening of the 2026 Construction Contractors Conference and Annual General Meeting organized by the Malawi Building and Civil Engineering and Allied Trades Association. In his keynote address, Washington Chimozu, who is also Chief Executive Officer for Ares Properties, observed that for some time construction contractors have been faulted for substandard workmanship, and time has come for all players in the industry to change the narrative. Owen Mavola with the report.
The Construction Contractors Conference and Annual General Meeting is a gathering for players in the construction industry and key stakeholders aimed to fostering dialogue, collaboration and capacity building within the construction sector. The 2026 conference, according to the organizers, will among other things provide a platform to discuss critical issues affecting the industry, financial management, project delivery, and business systems. In his keynote address, Chief Executive Officer for Ares Properties, Washington Chimozu, placed emphasis on the need for construction contractors to stick to timely delivery of sustainable infrastructure that also align with National Development Blueprint Malawi 2063.
These areas of quality infrastructure and timely delivery and also obviously infrastructure that adds value is extremely important if we talk about economic development, if we talk about progression, but also sustainability. The theme of the conference is focusing on the Vision 2063, which seeks to position Malawi as an inclusively wealthy, middle income economy. So to achieve that, we need all these parameters to align and to align well, and the contractors are a critical stakeholder in that regard.
In his remarks, Vice President for the Malawi Building and Civil Engineering and Allied Trades Association, Kondwani Kadango, said the conference also offers opportunities for knowledge sharing, networking, and strategic alignment to strengthen the role of local contractors in national development.
We're discussing issues that affect contractors and the stakeholders that are involved in construction industry, and we're trying to bring together these members so that we can discuss how we can resolve whatever issues we face, and also we have to move forward from here, strategizing on how can we help the government, how can we bring quality infrastructure into this country so that when the Dream 2063 is realized, a contractor should be celebrated.
The 2026 Construction Conference is being held under the theme Constructing Malawi 2063, Building Capacity for Sustainable Growth. Owen Mavula, MBC, Mangochi.
In the ongoing inquiry into the acquisition of Amaryllis Hotel by the Public Pensions Fund chairperson and director of Yusuf Investments, who is the owner of the hotel, Shiraz Yusuf, refused to face the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament after he insisted that he should face the committee on camera. Yusuf, who turned up at Parliament for the interface on Wednesday, cited safety, including threats of abduction, as the reasons for his refusal to appear live on media channels before the committee. Vice Chairperson of PAC, Tulinje Mlozi, said the reasons given by Yusuf were not convincing enough to grant him his wish. Embassy caught up with Mlozi.
Yusuf came this morning, I think by 9, he was already here, and he was asking to have the interface meeting in camera, of which, as you're aware, for all the past stakeholders whom we have been meeting, we've been meeting them live. So it was not fair for other stakeholders, since if you recall the Attorney General, we met him live. So why not Yusuf? So that's why we said no, we're not allowing you to have the meeting in camera.
What was his reason?
His reason is receiving threats from the public, and which to us, it was not solid, and which he never brought solid evidence to the committee on that.
Also commenting on the development is one of the members of PAC, Noel Lipipa, who said the committee will write the Speaker of Parliament to seek guidance on the matter.
The issues that they had raised about kidnappings and them reporting to police, and they gave the evidence when the committee deliberated, they thought that it was a weak argument for them not to appear, because we also have a responsibility to make sure that the public is aware of what is happening. As such, we refused to grant that particular hearing in camera. For that reason, they also said they would walk away, which they have done, and therefore, as Parliament, we have noted that there is a contempt of Parliament, and therefore the issue will be reported to the Speaker, and who will give proper guidance, and also our legal team, because I think their legal counsel raised some 4 key objections. The key objections about our jurisdiction as a committee, saying that we do not have jurisdiction over a private entity like Yusuf Limited. And let's make the record very clear here. The only institution that was given authority to conduct this interview in camera was the Financial Intelligence Authority, and their justification was to the fact that they were still conducting the investigations. As such, we granted them. But anyone else who is involved in this transaction, who is going to appear before the Public Accounts Committee, will appear live.
You're watching MBC News, and you are with me, Evelis Chingambe. A reminder of the top stories. The governments of Malawi and Iceland signed a 23 billion kwacha financial agreement aimed at supporting the improvement of basic services in 3 districts. Construction of the Tujila Bridge at Nkando in Mulanje to be completed before December this year. And the second phase of the nationwide polio immunization campaign ends today. Welcome back. The Malawi Judiciary has honored judges, magistrates and lawyers who died recently. The event was held in Blantyre during a memorial court sitting. Chief Justice Rizin Segamanda described the departed judicial members as a team of dedicated professionals who served their nation with distinction. Charles Jendongo has compiled this report, being read by Telson Magombo.
Family members of the departed lawyers, magistrates and judges joined the memorial court sitting on Wednesday in Blantyre in honor of 17 foreign legal minds. Speaking on behalf of the Chief Justice, Chisomo Nsogera, Registrar of the High Court, underscored the importance of the event.
The legal profession is a practice, and so you accumulate a lot of experience with the years that you have been either on the bench, that is for judicial officers, or on the bar, that is for legal practitioners. So our colleagues who departed had accumulated quite a lot of experience, and so this sitting we remember their contribution to the legal profession, but also we want to emulate the example which they left to us. Although we are no longer with them, but we have their records. So this memorial sitting reminds us of the need that in time and again we need to go back to those particular records and learn from their wisdom.
Head of the bar, who is also the country's Attorney General, Frank Farouk Mbeta, described the departed colleagues as the ones who were dedicated to duty.
The praise that you've heard about them represents the very spirit in which ordinarily lawyers and magistrates and judges are expected to perform their duties in order to serve the interest of justice and also to ensure the development of the law to the benefit of the nation. So it is incumbent upon us that are still living to emulate the good example, the selflessness, the integrity, the dignity, and the hard work in which our fallen colleagues discharge their duties.
Echoing his sentiments is Malawi Law Society President Davis Njovu.
Here to celebrate the departed lawyers, men and women, and the lessons are plenty because these are people who dedicated themselves. As we have heard, some of them were judges, some of them were magistrates, and then you had various members of the legal profession practicing the law in different fields. And when you look back, you see that there were people who were committed, and there were people who did a lot. Maybe within a very short time, their contributions are quite a lot. And it inspires those of us who are remaining to emulate them.
Among other renowned members of bar and the bench who were honored this year include His Worship Soka Banda, Kandaku Mhone, Professor Mgei Kanyongolo, Daliso Mtambo, and Raf Kasambara. The last memorial sitting was held in 2023.
The University of Malawi, UNIMA, says it is geared to devising programs that respond well to global demands. Vice Chancellor for UNIMA, Professor Samson Sajidu, made the remarks in Zomba when the university awarded degrees to the first ever cohort of about 20 students who have graduated with the Bachelor's of Early Childhood Development ECD program. Charles Pinsolo reports.
Speaking during the graduation ceremony in Zomba, Professor Sajidu said UNIMA has become the first public university in Malawi to offer Bachelor's of Early Childhood Development ECD program. According to Professor Sajidu, the introduction of the program is one of the progresses the higher learning institution has made so far.
Indeed, I did mention a number of achievements that we have made since our last graduation. Some of them include our increase in the number of programs that we are offering, and as I did mention that this is the first time we are graduating students who are taking the program in early childhood development.
The event was graced by Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Ken Ndala, who said the development aligns well with the current administration's agenda of improving early childhood education.
If you can actually recall in the speech by His Excellency the President, he mentioned the idea of us as Minister of Education focusing on the primary education. Now, the Early Childhood Development Program, it is one of the programs that is going to be able to enhance the production of caregivers.
And Esther Chipanda is one of the students who have graduated with a Bachelor of Early Childhood Development. She said her motives are to bring awareness to communities about the importance of early childhood development.
My contributions to the world mostly will focus on children's well-being, particularly in rural areas, because children in rural areas are facing a lot of challenges in terms of education and nutrition.
The 20 students who graduated on ECD were among 880 graduates who have received certificates, diplomas, and degrees in various fields. Out of the total number, 402 were females, while 480 were males. Charles Bensulo, MBC News, Zomba.
The second phase of the nationwide polio immunization campaign ends today. In Zuzu, the city's mayor, Chembekezo Moses, has expressed satisfaction with the campaign in the city. The mayor made the remarks after visiting vaccination sites at Kitty's Garden School, Chuavi Primary School, and Chuavi Community to monitor progress of the campaign. Meklina Chira has compiled this report.
Speaking after visiting some of the sites, Moses said it's encouraging that parents understand the importance of vaccinating their children against the polio, noting that the response has been overwhelming.
Councillors, village community leaders, and member of parliaments, chiefs, and again pastors. So they tried their best. They did the good part, and as a mayor of Mzuzu City, I'm very happy.
At Kitty's Garden School, one of the directors, Ash Rashid Bano, said the turnout has been positive since the exercise started.
Well, the turnout has been really good. We have been sensitizing the parents to make sure that all the kids are being vaccinated. The initiative that has been taken by the mayor of Mzuzu City is very commendable. He came personally to do the vaccination himself, which is very good.
The polio vaccination drive is targeting all children from 0 to 9 years of age. Health personnel are administering the oral polio vaccine in schools, health facilities, and door-to-door visits to ensure no child is left out. The second phase of the nationwide campaign began on 27 April and is expected to end on 30th April 2026. Meklina Chirwa, MBC News, Mzuzu.
King Boss Motorcycle Company says it is committed to strengthening its relationship with the Malawi Police Service to enhance security in the country. Spokesperson for the company, Aiden Koma, said this in Mzuzu during a handover ceremony of a football uniform to police, Mzuzu Police. Tuonge Mbeo has filed a report being read by Rodolfo Nyirenda.
After its recent support to Mighty Wanderers Football Club, to the tune of 200 million kwacha for the team's operations in 2026 FDH Premier League season, King Boss Motorcycle Company has also donated football uniform to Mzuzu Police. The company's spokesperson, Aidan Nkoma, said the development is part of its corporate social responsibility in promoting various sports disciplines in the country. Nkoma further urged other stakeholders to join hands with Malawi Police Service in addressing challenges that the institution is currently facing.
Many times we need police to stay with us for maybe if we can go somewhere, we need police to be near of us. That's why I get them changed so that we can play football each and every time.
Northern Region Police Sports Coordinator Alex Chibwana said the support is timely and it will help to promote good health among the officers.
We are happy that we have received the new uniform from King Boss. I think that uniform will assist us in terms of sports. You know, police, part of our work is, part of it is sports.
Meanwhile, King Boss Motorcycle Company has announced that it will provide Malawi Police Service with reflectors and other materials for security purposes.
And that's it from our newsroom this morning. A recap of our top stories before we leave. The governments of Malawi and Iceland signed a 23 billion kwacha financial agreement aimed at supporting the improvement of basic services in 3 districts. Construction of the Tujila Bridge at Nkando in Mulanje to be completed before December this year. And the second phase of the nationwide polio immunization campaign ends today. For more news, visit Embassy Digital on Facebook, Instagram, and X. You've been with me, Evelyn Chingambe. Thanks for watching and good morning.
Wasaiwala kupanga subscribe ku channel ya AMTV Malawi.